It looks like you're doing a fantastic job of keeping your margins up, even as prices for the underlying commodities rise. If they start to turn around, and we did see PPI drop to almost nothing today, do you think you're going to be able to continue to hold your pricing power?
Hey, good afternoon. Great to be with you guys. Yeah, I'll tell you how we think about it a little bit. And if you think about where we've been year to date, our prices have increased basically exactly the same as our commodity costs have increased as well, essentially right in line with each other. And the gross margin and operating margin improvements that you see are a product of the productivity initiatives that we've launched. So to your question, right now, our expectation is that we will continue to see commodity inflation just at a lower level relative to what it's been in the recent past. So we've been in double digits for a while. Our expectation is that number will come down, but still inflationary, and we'll price with that inflation as that inflation becomes more apparent to us. One thing to note on that as well is we tend to forward buy on commodities by about 9 months. So whatever is happening in the marketplace right now takes about 9 months to work its way into our financials by virtue of that hedging strategy that we have.
Helpful context on the price decisions, Hugh. For consumers who are feeling stretched, even if they lean into the brands that you've got, is there a breaking point at a certain point?
Yeah, it's interesting right now. If you look at what's happening with the consumer, there are both headwinds and tailwinds with the consumer. The headwinds are the ones that you all were just talking about. Inflation, higher interest rates, obviously are challenging household budgets. At the same time, the job market is very strong right now. Wages are escalating, and people tend to underestimate or underplay that side of things as well. And the gig economy is offering lots of new opportunities for people to earn money. So when you net all of that out, I think what you see right now is a consumer that's doing okay. They're just cautious. And where they're cautious in particular is big ticket purchases like personal technology, like automobiles. But they're employed. Wages are going up. They have money in their pockets, and we're kind of the affordable treat or the affordable luxury that you tend to spend money on anyway. You fill up the car with gas. You go in. You might buy a Pepsi or a Mountain Dew and a bag of Lay's or a bag of Sun Chips. So there's a reason that companies like ours are defensive stocks, and it's actually playing out fairly well for us. The other thing that's actually playing to the other thing playing to our benefit is, as consumers are getting out more, whether it's vacations or restaurants or back to the office, we tend to be present in those places more than most of our competitors, and that's a real tailwind for us.
Helpful context there. Okay, Hugh, those are the momentum parts of this story. The industry has been preparing for a possible announcement from the World Health Organization specifically tied to aspartame. We could hear that tomorrow. Can you give us a sense, has PepsiCo been planning or preparing for that as well?
We have been, but in all candor, aspartame is probably one of the most studied ingredients in all of food and has been for a long time. I like to talk about it and say aspartame is one of the few things that's been around PepsiCo longer than I have, because I've been here for almost 36 years at this point. And the reality of it is, in over 100 studies, it's been deemed as safe. Over 90 regulatory bodies across countries around the world, including the FDA and the European Food Safety Authorities, have all concluded that it's safe. And even the WHO itself has said that aspartame is safe as an ingredient. So, I do believe that, in fact, this is not going to be a significant issue with consumers based on just, the preponderance of evidence that suggests aspartame is safe.
Hugh, why even bother with it? I mean, you've kicked it out of most of your products, right? I think Starry contains aspartame, but it's not in Diet Pepsi or any of the main products. Why include it at all if everybody suspects that it's unhealthy?
Yeah, it's a relatively small ingredient in some other sweetener packages as well. But again, relatively small. The amount of consumption on this is a tiny amount. So as I said, I don't think consumers are really going to lock onto this one as a significant concern, just based on the amount of time it's been out there and the fact that it has been declared safe by so many different bodies.